Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. This was actually suggested by one of you. You wanted to hear recommendations of lip products that will carry you through the spring, summer months. So I really put a lot of thought into this. I looked at my collection and I thought about what spring and summer means to me on a day-to-day basis. And I tried to pick interesting formulas as well as colors. I wanted to lip swatch them all for you. I have 13 lip products. I tried to dwindle it down. I'll group them by kind of texture, starting with the lightest. So first up are products where I'm thinking I would bring with me if I was going to the beach or the pool. I'm looking for things that are likely multi-purpose and hydrating. Maybe giving me a little bit of a tint, but not much more than that. I'm also looking for products that are stable. And what I mean by that are products that are not going to be so melty that if they're in the heat, they would just become a puddle, which has happened to me before. Product stability in high temperatures is really, really significant. My two favorites from this bucket, I would say, what I just put on my lips is the Glossier BalmDotCom Universal Skin Salve in the shade Wild Fig. It's this sort of like slight peachiness hint. It's a really beautiful formula. It is on the firmer side. So during the winter months, this is a little bit of a nightmare to squeeze out of its tube because it gets too cold and too firm. But during the spring, summer months when things warm up, the texture just becomes lovely. This is just one of many, many flavors and tints they have. They also have this one, the Berry BalmDotCom. This one has more of a purpley, kind of blackberry tint to it. You see it right here. That's it there. These are, as it says in its name, a universal salve. So you can go ahead and put this on your cheeks or your eyes. It really just makes for a lovely wash. Outside of these two colors, I would recommend the cherry. The cherry is beautiful. It's a lovely, bright, pinkish red tinge. But they're just wonderful. They last forever. They're pretty economically priced. They all have like fruity scents that match whatever the name of the scent is, but it's not, doesn't smell artificial, which to me is a pretty big deal. The next product that is also very similar to that is this one here by Olio and Osso. This is a very like natural brand, a clean beauty brand. This one here is in the color 5. I don't know that I would necessarily recommend the shade 5. It's a very pretty, you know, kind of burnt red. What I mean by not recommend is I actually would recommend it, but they have other more fun, brighter shades. This also is an all over product, so you can apply this on your cheeks. This color is so pretty for that because it sort of lends to a burnt terracotta-y color, so almost like you're accelerating maybe your tan or the color you've gotten from the sun if you're fair to medium skin toned. And it's also just great on the lips. And I know it looks super awkward, like how would you put this on your lips, but let me show you. It's not as awkward as it seems. I just let this sit directly into my lips and I kind of mush it around, and then I will just take the edges and follow that along. And you get such a pretty tint, and the texture, similar to the Glossier BalmDotCom, it's just such a hydrating, nourishing formula, one that you don't mind having to apply a million times over. Also, very solid, very stable, very happy to be in the sun without kind of like ruining your bag or your stuff, and without it getting too messy. And again, beautiful on the cheeks, on the eyes, especially if you're going for that no makeup look, you're on the beach, you don't want to kind of apply too much outside of your sunscreen. This is just such a beautiful product to just throw in your bag. So really recommend those, and those are kind of for my very low-key kind of makeup day. Let's move on to kind of one step up, some lip balms that have a little more body to them and a little more color. Okay, in this category, I have two of my favorites. Now, this is one of these times where I'm gonna be talking about the formula and it's less about the color. In both of these formulas, you have a lot of colors to choose from, but these formulas are, particularly for me, some of the best, and they are both fairly high end. The first is the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm. This is in the color Turbo. I love this kind of cherry color. I have this in almost every shade that they make it in. It is I don't have to think about what I'm doing when I'm applying this. I can just keep talking and apply, and I get this wonderful cherry, pinkish cherry color that I really, really love. And it's just, you know, it just kind of wakes you up. It's just an easy formula to wear around the house if you're just constantly wanting to reapply something that's nourishing, but you want to have a little bit of color. It is not mask friendly, so if you're concerned about that, I will say you will have transfer. So prepare yourself, though it's not like a gross transfer because the product is a very hydrating balm product. So there is that kind of silver lining to it. But I love this color. I love so many of their shades, and I just think this is such a beautiful, beautiful formula overall. Similarly, Bobbi Brown also has a formula that she recently came out with, or they recently came out with, since Bobbi Brown isn't really doing much for Bobbi Brown anymore. It's this crushed gel formula. It's like a crushed lip balm. So this is the container right here, and you just pop it out. I have a few of these shades now. I really love this formula. Super easy, very similar to the NARS in formulation, and I'll just go ahead and put on this color for you. So this is the shade Lilac, and this is a really nice pink color. It has some purpliness to it, but like the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm, it's very, very similar in texture. If you like the NARS lip balm, you will like this. If you like this, you will like the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm. They're essentially the same formula. I cannot really differentiate much of a difference between the two, and they also provide just the same level of pigmentation. I will say that both products, though it has pigmentation, it never goes on choppy at all or patchy. It's really, really a smooth formula. It disperses the color really, really well, and it has, both of the formulas have a nice wear down that isn't going to make you feel self-conscious or silly. So that's the Bobbi Brown in Lilac. And Bobbi Brown's the red cherry color one is divine too. I have that down in Florida. That's how much I love it. Taking it one step further, so I consider these formulas to be a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more fussy while applying, but beautiful, beautiful textures, formulas. You can find a shade that works for you. Some are more pigmented than other. There's just a little bit more of there's a little bit less of a consistency with these products than I would say with the NARS and the Bobbi Brown lip products, but these are still very much like a balmy gloss. So this is more like a balm gloss hybrid, and this is these three here. They're all drugstore. Woohoo! We have the Revlon Shine lipsticks, the L'Oreal Shine lipsticks, as well as the e.l.f. Lipsticks. These are the Sheer Slick. So the e.l.f. Sheer Slick formula. All of these are wonderful. I'd say of all of them, this one is the most pigmented, and I specifically picked this color too. But let me go ahead and try on some of my favorite colors for you. So in the Revlon Shine is this one called Dewy Peach. This is my favorite peach lipstick of all my peach lipsticks. So that's this one here. The smell is delicious. It feels so nourishing. It has a bit more of a gloss to it than the Bobbi Brown or the NARS Afterglow, and it's just gorgeous. I love how it's peach without being too pink or too orange. It really is floating in that in between, and I just find this color to be immensely flattering on my skin tone, especially as my skin gets a little glowy. I really just adore that lipstick. So that's Dewy Peach, though there's so many beautiful colors in this range. Sparkling Honey is gorgeous. Let me try on the next one. Similar to the Revlon Shine is the L'Oreal Shine. This one is in the shade 928 Gleaming Plum. And this one's sort of unusual, which is why I picked it out. Not that this formula is unusual. This formula is beautiful as the Revlon. But I picked this shade because I really like this shade for the spring, summer months. And it's a shade that's sort of tricky. It looks a lot, very intimidating in the tube versus like once you apply it. So this is what it looks like in the tube. And then when you apply it, it's not like that at all. I think this also is very similar to the Lilac shade by Bobbi Brown. So a little bit more cool toned. There's some blue in there. It just brightens up your smile. It's such a nice, fun, unusual shade. And that's why I wanted to not only just share this formula, which any color in this formula is beautiful, but this shade in particular is special for, I think, the spring, summer months. Next up, so here is the e.l.f. Sheer Slick. This is not a sheer color at all, and I picked one of my favorite shades from it. It's called Dragon Fruit. And there's nothing sheer about this. This is like a really interesting hot pink with some warmth to it. And this is just a beautiful, super fun shade to be wearing out in the spring and summer. I mean, with just a basic eye, beautiful skin that's seen the sun, and you have this gorgeous lip. It's just such a beautiful lip color. And it is a very, you know, when I first purchased this lip color, I could tell automatically this was a very high-end feeling shade and formula. I was very impressed. This is by far the most impressive for me lip product from e.l.f. And I was just shocked at how pretty this coral hot pink hybrid thing is. In fact, there are a ton of shades in the Chanel formula as well as the YSL formula that knock on this door. I feel like this is like such a high-end color, and no one would ever know that it's e.l.f. And it's beautiful. I love the packaging too. It's just easy to identify, to find in your bag. And yeah, it just brings so much life to the face. I love the shade. So that is Dragon Fruit by e.l.f. Before we transition on over to the 4 traditional lipsticks that I want to highlight, I wanted to take a moment and celebrate lip gloss, and 2 formulas in particular, the Tower 28 formula lip gloss, as well as the crushed oil-infused lip glosses from Bobbi Brown. So both of these formulas are wonderful. They're so cushiony. Tower 28 has some creamy, milky formulas. They also have these kind of translucent formulas. They're all really beautiful, really cushiony, very affordable as well, considering it lives at Sephora. And this color here is just such a pretty kind of, I ate a lollipop color. And the formula is just so pillowy and non-sticky, and it feels like it coats your lips, but it's very, very juicy. And I would consider this pigmentation wise a bit lighter than the NARS lip balms or the Bobbi Brown crushed lip balm. This is certainly pigment wise a bit lighter than that, but it's just so beautiful and so comfortable. If what you're looking for too is like to be in the house and wear something that just makes your lips feel good. Maybe you're talking on the phone a lot. I'm on a lot of Zoom calls throughout the day, and I drive these Zoom calls, and I can't have my lips kind of sticking together, but I want something that, you know, brings people's attention to me without like knocking them over the head with it. This is such a nice product. It's a comfortable product for me as I'm talking, you know, I'm not getting any kind of lines between my lips. It's such a pretty comfortable formula. This one just will always live in my bag. One of these shades, I have it in several shades and I love them. I love them all. Next up is my Bobbi Brown. I love this lip gloss formula so much. So this is the Bobbi Brown crushed oil-infused gloss. Again, very similar to the Tower 28. It feels very pillowy, non-gloopy, non-sticky. It has just the sheerest amount of color. This one that I have on my lips, I really, really love. It's called Sweet Dianthus. I know this is limited edition packaging. I don't know if this is a limited edition shade, but really any shade is gorgeous. They have beautiful nudes, beautiful kind of berries and reds and bricky colors. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful formula. And yeah, Bobbi Brown for me, again, like I mentioned with NARS, they almost always, when it comes to lip products, knock it out of the park. And also their scents are not headache inducing, they're not too obnoxious. Bobbi Brown, her scents are almost always kind of like softly like licorice, but not nauseatingly sweet or nothing too minty or anything like that, or too like floral fragranced. So I always really appreciate that. And yeah, I just love this shade. I just think it's really pretty, really youthful. And that's what I kind of go for. I want something that when I think spring, I think youth. I think just fun and sun and, you know, some carefree spirit. And I feel like these glosses kind of nail it for sure for me. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to jump into some of my favorite neutral lipsticks, two in particular, and then two really vibrant, spicy lipsticks. Next up, I thought of some sophisticated shades that I would like to go out at night in, that kind of make me feel very sexy if I've gotten some color in my skin and I want to just amp it up, what I would normally go for. And one of those is sort of like a nude, a really pretty nude or toasted nude lip. So this one by Buxom, I'm still playing with it, but I really, really like it. It's a Full Force lipstick in Supermodel. And it's this one here. And it has this rosy tone, but it has some level of warmth in it. So it has rose, it has some peach, it has some brown, and I just think it feels very effortless. This is a lipstick, number one, it smells delicious, it smells sort of vanilla-y, but it does have a tiny bit of that plumping, kind of a slow cooling effect. It isn't obnoxious though. Normally I'm not the biggest fan of Buxom's plumping lip glosses. And this one is subtle, but I really love the toastiness of this color, and I think it just really brings out the skin tone and grounds a nice eye look. That's this sort of neutral shade. Another shade I would kind of go down a little bit deeper is this one here from Propa Beauty. So this one is called Limitless, and I recently wore this in a video and I just like fell back in love with it. It is a real burnt orangey color. And these lipsticks by Propa, they're fantastic. They have just enough slip to them that they're easy to put on, but they're creamy but they don't feel that thick on the lips. It's really a gorgeous, like standard satin formula lipstick. It's really, really beautiful. So that's this one here, Limitless. You see it has a burnt orangey vibe to it. And I just think if you had medium or your tanning skin, these colors are just, oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. It reminds me very much, and not just like the turquoise earrings, but, you know, very Southwest terracotta, you know, hippy dippy vibe, hair tousled about in the wind. That's the vibe that I get from this lipstick. I really, really enjoy this color, and it's an unusual color. It's a color that when I've worn it, people are like, what's that on your lips? It's sophisticated in a way that, you know, I don't think you can get lots of colors in the drugstore that resemble this. You'd have to really go on a good hunt. Okay, last two lipsticks. One is from MAC and the other is from Ms. Pat McGrath. So the first by MAC is a shade in their Amplified lipstick, and it's taking that orange concept that we just kind of dipped our toes in with the Propa Beauty, and we're taking it all the way. This is Morange, and it is neon orange goodness. This color is so crazy. Now, I know this color is not for everyone. This could be a very intimidating shade. You can blot it down and it's beautiful. You can apply a lip liner and really create kind of your own shade if you work with a brown lip liner. But this shade on dark skin tones, the fairest skin tones, my skin tone, which I'm truly right now like a light, is just stunning. It's like walking down the street, you're gonna stop traffic, sort of stunning. It is really a divine color. And this formula is a really comfortable formula in MAC. I don't know if you've ever tried the Amplified lipsticks, but they're very, very creamy, very, very pigmented, and super colorful, super easy to wear. And I just love it. This color is so beautiful. I mean, this is happiness in a lipstick. It's just bright and unapologetic, and that's sort of what the spirit of spring and summer is to me. Unapologetic wonderfulness. And I even love it with this kind of copper eyeshadow. It's really, really pretty. So I love this color. Understand it's not for everyone, but it's a pretty spectacular shade. So next up is Pat McGrath. This is from her Luxe Trance formula. It is called Pink Ultraness. This I recently picked up at a sale she was having, and it's this fuchsia, magenta. Oh my God, I love this color. And I had never tried before this formula by Pat McGrath, and I really, really like it. OMG. OMG. I feel like this color is like mic drop, you know? All right, this is crazy. This is so crazy beautiful, this lip color. How I stumbled across it at this point in my life, I don't know. But it's sort of, the reason I picked this shade in particular is it reminds me of the shade I wore when I got married. And I got married in July in a summer month. And I'll insert a picture right here of sort of the makeup I was wearing on my wedding day. And yeah, this is sort of that. And especially like I'm wearing turquoise earrings. I was wearing turquoise earrings. I got married on the beach in Bermuda. It was a very small wedding, but it was so beautiful and idyllic. And it represents summer to me. And this is that shade. I've always loved a really deep, deep, vibrant raspberry color. And this one is so good. It's so good. So this is Pink Ultraness by Pat McGrath. What I like about it too is there's some body to the lipstick. It feels like you're wearing lipstick, but it's not obnoxiously there. It's there enough that you have some awareness, so you know kind of to check in on yourself and see where you're at, because it will wear off. But there's so much rich pigmentation in it, and it is very comfortable. It's not like too satin and it's not too matte. It's sort of a weird hybrid in between. You do have to be careful when applying it, simply because it's such a vibrant color. You're gonna take a minute to apply it. You could use a lip liner. I'm not a fan of lip liners, so that's not a step I do, but I could very well use a little bit of a brush to touch up around the edges. But I just love this color. I just think it's a lot of fun. And between this and Morange, it doesn't really require much more makeup other than maybe just a great mascara, you know, beautiful hydrated skin, and one of these colors, and you are just set. You are set to rock the town, whatever town you're in. Yeah, it's just such a fun, lively color. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it, you know, some of these shades piqued your interest, or some of these formulas. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Consider subscribing if you'd like to subscribe. Make suggestions for content. You know, this idea came from one of you, so I am definitely reading comments and I'd love to hear from you. And make suggestions of your favorite spring summer formulas and also shades. I will always be interested in hearing of a new lipstick or a new lip shade, because I love lipstick and I love to get new shades in my collection. So if there's one that is like your ride or die favorite, please let us all know. And I hope you guys are just all having a great week, and we will talk soon. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.